Good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, March 25th, 2020. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll notice here that the ES went right up to that 2500 level. Today's high 24.98. This previous high right here was 24.99. This is basically the target from when we discussed the pre-market report Monday morning and mentioned that that low Monday morning could lead to not only a one-day low but perhaps a low for a multiple number of days for the week, up toward 2500. Now that we're in the zone, you can see that we are starting to see a sell signal here develop. That's because a tail is developing here. It's also seen weakness outside of, or back outside, this bearish PEMA trigger zone. This is a bearish trigger zone here that when the market is trending lower, you look to sell in that area for a push lower. We're now in that area and are now pushing back out of that zone. Again, the idea was that after a multi-day bounce here, we could see another round of major selling pressure ahead. Until we start getting major upticks of good news, it's going to be very difficult for the market to go higher sustainably until things really start to get better here. Now, of course, these bear market bounces can be tremendous. As we've talked about before, yesterday ended up being fairly bullish, and then again, if price continues to hold, say 2400 today, there's a shot that we continue a bit higher, maybe to 26 or a bit into the pivot range into next month. So again, there is more upside that could be seen, but is it sustainable right now, or is it going to be a bear market bounce? If we do start to push back down again, we have another key zone down below that could be reached. 2091 is value right there, and then 1800 is the next LVN on the other side of value. So those are the next two major levels here down below for the ES. Up above, again, if price starts to push through that 2500 level, you start to get to 26 and above, but is it sustainable? We'll see. Alright, let's take a look here at the NQ. You'll see right here the NQ pushed through the 8-period pivot-based EMA in the previous session. A very nice strong bounce over the last couple of days from the pre-market low Monday. And now you see that the market is showing also a bearish signal up here at these highs. And it's also occurring inside the bearish trigger zone. Remember, when the market is trending downward, the space between the 8-period and 21-period pivot-based EMA is typically a good spot to look for a sell the rip opportunity. Likewise, in an uptrending market, you would do the same for the buy the dips. But in this market, again, we are currently in a bear market, and until price can reclaim, say, the 77.50, we may see this thing snap right back down and retest those lows to begin next month. So again, we could be looking at another round of weakness here ahead, especially if we don't begin to see immeasurable upticks in good news here day over day. Alright, let's take a look now at crude oil. You'll see in crude oil here, this one is on the verge perhaps of another cascading move down. Again, it's sitting off the 20 half level right now, but it also has not been able to get above 25s the last 2 days. You can see here on the PivotBoss advanced ADR indicator that price action is very, very compressed, especially over the previous 5-day range period. And now we could be looking at expansion ahead. It could be very similar to when price sat in here for 5 days, and then we saw this big move down. Price sat in this zone for 5 days, and then we saw the big move down. And we've seen it before and before. So again, we may be looking at another move lower. Again, more and more, if we start to see more and more closures here of cities, then again, that's going to perhaps impact this price again. So we could be looking at a 15 handle on the way down. Above 25 here still gives 28s, and that would put you right inside the PEMA trigger zone, which could be sold yet again. So again, until price can really claim 30 here, we may be looking at selling the rips on any bounce right now, if there are any bounces. So again, continue to watch 25s here for early upside directional conviction. A failure to hold 22s opens up quite a bit of downside ahead. All right, let's take a look now at gold futures. Now gold is one that has exploded to the upside. We mentioned a bit earlier in the week that 1450 to 1700 is now likely the trading range and the new market structure. But at the same time, this is the zone on its way to 1800 to 1830. So we could see price continue to flow higher in gold, especially as the market, or should the market continue to see weakness ahead. Gold may continue to see that upside target reached in the 18 to 1820 zone. So that's the next zone up above for gold, but at the moment, again, 1450 to 1700 appears to be the key range to watch. We have now reached these targets on the smaller key range, so updating them to the new impulse move with a new midpoint makes a lot of sense right now, and that gives us the new key range to watch for tradable actions and targets down the road. All right, everyone, that is it for now. We'll see how this develops heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.